health savvy people. Okay, so in one of my last videos you may remember my excitement at receiving a book called A Modern Herbal by Mrs. Maud Greaves. Still excitement. So, fun fact, in the First World War, the 1914-1918, the British Army were having medical supply issues with some of the herbs they would normally get from other countries in Europe. So in particular, they were finding it really difficult to get hold of Henbane, Foxglove, deadly nightshade, which we know homeopathically as belladonna, and Monkshood, which is also known homeopathically as aconite. So, Mrs. Greaves, who was 56 years old at the time, and she had a lot of experience with plants, growing herbs, she actually, I think she ran or was involved with a medical mission in India when she was out there in her younger years. That's where she met her husband. So I want to talk about those herbs in the video so that you can get an idea of what was being used at the time, over 100 years ago, and how herbs were being utilised in that kind of environment and why they were being used, because homeopathy works on the mind, the emotions and the physical body.
Henbane was used during World War I for its potent sedative and pain-relieving properties. It was particularly effective in reducing severe pain and calming the nervous system, aiding soldiers suffering from injuries and trauma. Henbane's antispasmodic effects were also beneficial in treating gastrointestinal distress caused by stress or poor rations. Henbane, traditionally used for its sedative and analgesic properties, provided psychological relief to World War I soldiers suffering from insomnia and nervous tension. Its calming effects help soothe anxiety and restlessness caused by the relentless stresses of war. However, its toxic nature required careful administration by trained medics. Its historical use in battlefield medicine reflects the resourcefulness of military doctors in leveraging natural remedies to manage the challenges of war when pharmaceutical options were limited. Foxglove was vital to the British Army in World War I due to its cardiac benefits. Extracts of foxglove containing the glycoside digoxin were used to treat heart conditions like arrhythmias and heart failure, which would have arisen from stress, injury or illness in the trenches. Its ability to strengthen and regulate heart contractions made it a critical treatment for soldiers suffering from heart strain. Despite its effectiveness, foxglove required precise dosing as its potent compounds could be toxic if misused. Deadly nightshade's botanical name is Atropa belladonna, and it played a key role in World War I medicine due to its alkaloids, particularly atropine. Atropine was used to dilate pupils during eye examinations, reduce respiratory secretions, and counteract the effects of chemical weapons, which was a significant threat and often used in World War I. Soldiers who were exposed to these chemical gas attacks received atropine to prevent fatal respiratory failure. Deadly nightshade also served as a pain reliever and sedative, aiding in surgeries and trauma care. Despite its name and toxicity, belladonna's life-saving applications highlight the importance of natural substances in wartime. Monkshood, though highly toxic, found use in World War I as a topical pain reliever. Its primary alkaloid, aconitin, was known for its numbing and analgesic effects, providing temporary relief for soldiers with severe injuries or neuralgia. While internal use was risky, controlled external applications reduced localized pain. And known for its numbing and tranquilizing properties, Monkshood offered soldiers a natural means to alleviate extreme mental distress and panic during World War I. While primarily used for physical pain, its soothing effects on the nervous system supported resilience against trauma and shock. Monkshood's reputation as a poison necessitated careful handling, often limiting its use to experienced medics. This herb underscores the dual nature of many medicinal plants, dangerous in improper doses, yet invaluable when used skillfully in dire circumstances. My basic knowledge of aconite as a homeopathic remedy is for situations where there is terror and panic, which affects the digestive system.
Now, because of the toxicity of these 4 plants, some more toxic than others, Henbane in particular, they have to be actually made and prescribed by someone who's very expert in the amounts and the quantities and the potency and actually how to make them and the parts of the plants and so forth. Now, I would imagine the correct parts of the plants were sent to the field hospitals in World War One. Now, we've all seen movies made of World War One. We've actually seen actual physical movies of very old black and white movies taken by the wartime reporters at the time of men in the trenches. I would not be able to imagine or comprehend the scenes, the smells, the energies, the horror of working in a field hospital with so many wounded men, wounded soldiers. So I had a thought there could possibly be the situation where if the soldiers were not dying of their wounds and they happened to be administered the herbal medicine that wasn't in homeopathic form, it was in physical form, then they would in fact have also been poisoned, which is a very sad state of affairs. But as you can imagine, mistakes, tragic mistakes. The whole thing was a tragic mistake. Join me on the next video in this series coming up in the new year, and we can learn about some more healing plants that Mrs. Greaves wrote about almost 100 years ago.